Don't be a hero.
Whoa!
We're here. Don't be a hero. Podcast is Mad and Fars. We're back on the baseline, on the line of the bass. We're here.
You've got a really loud car outside.
That was a very loud car.
Just at the
same time there. That was...
Wow.
Very tiny little neighbourhood.
That car did not want to stay for the podcast. That car wanted to get the heck out of there.
That car was so excited that we're recording. It is rushing its butt back home to listen in.
It is.
That's what that car's doing.
Yeah, it is. How are you, dear Forrest, my friend?
I am great because I'm about to plough my way in to a little brew dog, little can of beer. It's called a Punk IPA. I don't know why I'm reading that like I've never read it before. I've tried loads of these in my life.
Sounds brand new.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I'll take a little sip. Jesus. Oh no, man! You're making me quench my thirst. I really want some. Oh, I've got a bit of a hay fevery situation going on at the moment, and it's not really delightful.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, what does hay fever give you? What do you feel?
Sinuses close up. Oh, he's muted himself when he's taking the sip. I paused specifically to hear that sip when you muted yourself. Now, yeah, I'm also trying not to drink as much beer at the moment because I know I'm about to tank it. I'm about to tank the beers this coming weekend because I'm going to go and see myself a certain band. That is What was I going to say?
A hell of a way to introduce. I'm going to go and see myself. Oh, and what an evening you're going to treat yourself to.
It will be like seeing myself because every time I go and see this band, a part of my soul leaves my body, and then I see myself in all of my journeys of life, and I always feel like I go and see this band at points of importance in my life. I don't see them every time. I don't see them a lot. I see them like once every 4 or 5 years. I think the last time I saw them was got to be about 6-7 years.
And how much is it to see Girls Aloud?
Well done.
Good bit of business.
Actually, it's Steps.
Oh.
I'm not being serious. You know I'm not being serious. Right?
No. I'm assuming what? Primark? Not Primark.
What?
Paramore. Are you going to watch Primark?
I'm not. It's not Paramore, but they are in London. There are in London the same night because they support Taylor Swift at the moment. So there'll be lots of Swifties.
Support Taylor Swift.
I know, mate. Honestly,
what is this?
Don't get me started because we're on the podcast. I have been on an absolute rager with this because I don't see Paramore as a supporting act, and for some reason they're supporting Taylor Swift. It's just such a weird concept. I'm not going to get into it.
It's almost as bad as Glastonbury lineups again, mate.
Oh, don't, honestly. The band I'm going to see, it's Foo Fighters.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
You got see good old friend Davey Grohl.
Yeah, going to see my big man Dave.
Where are you going? Where are you seeing this?
It's about the London Stadium.
Oh, the
one where West Ham United play. The old Olympic one, you know?
No idea.
Stratford, mate. Stratford.
Okay. Stratford. What the Olympics was?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. It was the main building, and then they had to repurpose it. Otherwise, they would have spent all that money for naught.
Proper into me football on that. I'm not exactly what it's talking about.
Well, you're not watching the Euros then? The Euros started this week.
Do you know what? I did watch it. The England match last night. Bloody boring. That's what it was.
I mean, it wasn't the
really
best
boring,
match.
Matt.
We started off well, but you know.
Oh, what you doing? I just passing ball, left, right, and occasionally I'll go for the attack, but I'll just wait on defence to see if anything's happening. Oh, have you seen Peter in crowd? Oh, he's waving at us. Hang on, 2 minutes. Oh, there we go. Back in the court.
Peter.
Yeah, it's very, very. When you look at other countries, England's football is remarkably boring. Remarkably
it's not
reserved.
pretty. No, it's not pretty. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm saying this from no experience whatsoever. I've got no knowledge of the sport.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm on each game as much as I possibly can. I had it on the TV behind me not about 2 minutes ago. Just turned it off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man. Like it's when it gets to like Euros and World Cup, I'm like all in. All in. Yeah. But yeah, that's us. That's what we're at. It's a lovely little catch up. Lovely.
That was a lovely little
listener
tidbit for 6 minutes there. Look gorgeous. Well, do you know what you're all into football?
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm all into?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
I'm all in to something that's going to follow these incredible opening titles. And that is The Boys, Season 4.
Oh my God. That was so drawn out. I was unbearably drawn out.
Unnecessarily drawn out, but
yeah,
well worth it.
Boys, Season 4 dropped
into
last
Season
week.
4.
We're here now. It's episodes 1 to 3 that got dropped in the first batch, let's say. For the first time in a long time, this podcast is doing relevant titles. Which is great.
Something you've seen in the last 4 weeks. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Unheard of here.
These guys are going mental. I can't believe it. They're messing with the formula. I watched old films. Yes, we are. We're
not
doing
the formula. You're supposed to be moaning about Kevin Feige.
Where is Thor: The Dark World? I've watched it. So I don't know where all of these voices are coming from. It's the voices inside my head. But yes, Boys Series 4, Season 4, wherever you are, across the pond, series, season, part, God knows what. But it's here. Loud and proud, Amazon Prime have released the first 3 episodes. We've got, I'd say loads to talk about. We've got plenty to talk about.
We do.
I would argue not as much to talk about as I'd hope to want to talk about.
I agree with you, mate. It's really interesting. So, dear listener, the format of these episodes will give our overview of thoughts. We won't go episode by episode. We'll just kind of give you just a general kind of like highlights of those first 3 batch and, the highlight moments and the characters. We like to talk about characters and narratives, so we'll focus on that for this episode. But particularly, mate, I'm with you. I think if I was to go into my overview for thoughts for the first 3 episodes, they were...
Please do.
There were a couple of... Ooh! Yeah, all right. There's the boys I know. There was like a certain moment I was like, oh, you did that. That happened. And we'll talk about that later. Somehow. But there were definite slow burners in this. I found myself just kind of, not kind of going, maybe I am just getting used to the boys formula. And I think if we're kind of talking about all the stuff that's going around the news, the boys have decided to stop the series after season 5. We will no longer we won't get a season 6. There was rumours that there was I think the writer, one of the showrunners, were basically saying that this would continue and we don't know when it's going to stop. But no, they've gone back on that, and they've gone, no, we'll finish at the end of season 5 for the boys, not for Gen V. So, and we'll talk about that as well. What we'll do on Friday's episode, we're going to talk about Gen V as well. But I think Gen V will continue, but the boys will stop at season 5. That, my friend, in my thoughts, is a good decision. What do you think?
I was the same. I thought the first episode was interesting. It was a bit too political for me, and not as.
Why are you answering my question?
What?
I asked you. Did not listen to my question.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Over to you. You said over to me.
No, I said
my
what
summary.
I said, I love. If this was like a couple of years ago, do this now, we would have run. I would have let that go. I would have let that go. I would have let Forrest continue. But no, I'm calling that up, mate. I was saying. What are your thoughts on the fact that it's stopping at season 5 and not continuing? That was my question.
Sorry, I thought I'd at least get to answer the first question that you posed, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll go into your line of questioning, shall we, Mr. Piers Morgan himself over here? Well, Piers, sorry, I'll stick to your line of questioning.
Well, actually, no. The line of questioning goes like this: you did state factually.
What do I think? I think it is a good time. I think it's a good time. It's a good amount of series to do. I think if anything has been shown in the first 3 episodes of this series is that we're certainly getting into territory of being like, oh, okay, yeah, we typical scene, we're understanding the boys, and there's not really too far out of their remit that they could go anymore, before it all gets a little bit like, oh, everyone's against 4, everyone hates 4, oh, superheroes, all 4, oh, 4, superhero, oh, and it just gets, they've got to break the cycle before it turns into The Walking Dead.
You're right, because that's where you can learn at the past, and The Walking Dead really fudged it by continuing. And the thing is we'll talk about a certain moment that happened in season 4, but also the fact that they do all these things where it's like shock value or the concept of the boys, the tone of the boys. We're kind of getting ourselves desensitized, but also used to the formula of it. And I think when you get an audience that gets used to the formula, or expecting certain things, or anticipating certain things, like, we were talking about last week when we talked about Herogasm, I said literally, I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to break that ceiling and do something else? Look, boom, episode 2, we got something like that. So it's all kind of, you're anticipating. You don't want your audience to anticipate. You want everything to come fresh, unexpected. That's where the true reactions come from. So it's a good choice. We've still got lots of stories to tell, I think, particularly for season 4. But obviously going into season 5, there's still lots to do. But now they know where they're heading. They can now really spend some time wrapping it up, realizing the characters, realizing fully the character arc and narrative. They've got an end game. That's good. That's good planning. Yeah,
it's lovely. It's lovely planning indeed. So, I think there were moments in these 3 episodes that were. I'm gonna say it, Matt. You haven't dared me, but if you dared me, I'd say it anyway. Were a complete snorefest. There are scenes of just complete dialogue between characters that you're like, right, I've switched off. Episode 2, unfortunately, I'm going to call you out, was notoriously bad for snorefest moments. It's sad, but and also obviously now we're looking at episodes kind of under a microscope compared to the previous 3 series. So the game's slightly changed, but yeah, I think there were moments of we're just going round in circles and just similar stories and not much more to tell, but. Well, let's start a bit at the beginning, because I have a question that's emerged from episode 1, right? Well, I have a question and I also have a remark. I want to start with my remark and finish with my question.
Got you. Okay.
If I may, Piers. The remark would be that the first set of scenes that fall under episode 1, which is all about Victoria Newman's campaign event, all feel a little bit weird. And I'm going to say the reason why is that we get a lot of characters see each other in that event who would either kill each other or be absolutely livid they were in the same room with each other. And what we get instead is a weird concoction of like a sequence of events that feels like no one like legitimately is there. And a couple of examples. So Billy, Ryan and Homelander are in the same room at one point. Bearing in mind everything we just had for series 3, 2 and 1, right? They act as if they are they're people who have got, they had an argument a couple of days before. There is not that the stakes have lowered so much for that whole campaign event. And then again, Newman talks to Huey back of the van, and then Billy shoots Newman and then misses, and the whole scene he's just shot you, and this woman can pop heads, and there's no the stakes are dead. And I think it emerges, Matt, from what we were talking about for series 3, which is there legitimately doesn't feel like any big character can die. And that just about summed it up, that whole event, where anyone meaningful, there was no risk of anyone dying, which meant that whole event fell so flat for me. Thoughts?
Oh, mate, brilliant. What a way to start. I completely agree. It felt like what they were doing in those first instances was getting the audience back into, oh, by the way, this is what our characters are. This is who they are. Yeah, we're all friends. We're all friends. Right now, we're friends. And it's but no, we've just suffered a lot. We've gone through a lot the past 3 series. And also, you're picking up straight away. There is no real time jump. There's not a year on like they did between season 1 and season 2. No, season 2 and season 3. It's picking up straight up to the Homelander's trial. The campaign is going ahead. You're getting all the Starlighters. You've got the Homelanders peeps. All of that divide is there, and that was established in the latter season of series 3. So yeah, man, it didn't have that stakes.
Weird.
They had an opportunity. They had and this is the other thing, going off on the back of other shows and different shows, but with the Congress, is it Congress? Is it the Congress parties kind of thing? With that moment, with that event, they had an opportunity to do something on the Red Wedding scale. Do you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, they did.
If they got all of these big people in the room, can get maybe Stan Edgar, maybe just for some reason is there, maybe because Stan Edgar's still around. We haven't seen no Stan Edgar. He's not dead. So we've got an opportunity of bringing him back and killing him off because we know he's busy doing lots of other things. He's going to be rocking up in Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff. Not Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain America. We've got the opportunities of Mallory as well. I think Mallory's dead weight. I think get rid of her.
Yeah.
Boom, pop her head in that first episode, in that first instance. Victoria Newman, boom, you're in my way. Get out of it. And just have that big moment of big stakes. And then that's your impetus. Because what we ended up having is some sort of weird domestic scene in the back kitchen with Homelander, Butcher and Ryan.
You are exactly right, Matt. This 100% felt like, if you've not watched The Boys before, here's a real quick glimpse of where everyone's at, which, like I say, doesn't work. This is series 4, mate. Yeah. No one should be starting series 4, episode 1. You need to be. This is for fans who have watched it. So let's just get on with it. Let's just kill someone. If you're going to put all of these people in the same room, one of them's going to kill someone by this point.
Let's start with a bloody bang.
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, agreed. And when we do get that bloody bang, which is at the end where we see Victoria Newman's daughter, whose name escapes me. She starts like absolutely killing Pete. It's the first like shock scene of the episode.
Snakes coming out of her mouth, man.
Snakes come out. It's mental. Mate. But again, the only people who die at the hands of her are complete new, like, just cameos. I'm like, oh, no, they're not cameos, supporting artists, right? I'm like, all right, brill, cool, okay. So, and they even mock that as well, because you got Kimiko and oh my god, Kimiko and Frenchie, literally stood there like watching her do it. And rather than go straight for him and like she could kill him in a second, no, we're just going to go around that and find a weird way that they escape. It's just, it's a disappointing start, especially when we've just watched the end of Series 3 and we both agreed that no one dying at the end of that was a bit of a shit go.
Really should have just upped the ante, man. Like, it just felt so weak. Not weak, but like... just not right.
Not as strong as it could have been. Oh, hit me up.
So I'm going to read out a couple of reviews, and to be honest, these are all critics, but like, we've got The Boys returns from its hiatus, slightly overstuffed episode of elements both new and familiar. Would you say it's overstuffed? This episode?
I suppose there's a lot of the politics between characters and a lot of kind of like, okay, who's on what side? Where's Billy going to go? Like, in that sense, overstuffed, but I wouldn't say it's like, it's not overstuffed with action. You're not by the end of it like, oh my God, that was like, what? Tired me out.
There's a brilliant comment here by Hayley Whitmire, who's a TV fanatic on Rotten Tomatoes, said the episode could have easily been called the 1 hour of people threatening Victoria Newman, even though she could have exploded their heads in an instant. Like, literally.
Spot on. 100%. Why is Newman not popping heads all over the place? Like, what? Like, what is the... She's got nothing to lose if she did that. Like, and it's just going to wind me up.
Huey chucks like liquid at her. They shot her in the head. Like, it just...
Yeah. She was like... She just... in the previous series, she has popped the heads of people in a court case that is being filmed nationally, being shown. Right? That is everywhere, in every household. But God forbid she pops the head of someone who's either chucked coffee at her or tried to shoot her. I mean, like, make it make sense. Come on, guys, make it make sense.
Really bizarre. Really, really, really bizarre. That's episode 1. I think nothing really else happens other than just kind of. We get a little bit more of Homelander, but we also get some stuff from Frenchie, don't we?
We do get some stuff from Frenchie. Before we go on about Frenchie, I've got a question. Because is it ever explained about Black Noir 2?
No. See, that's interesting. So, when Black Noir first sits down in that first episode, or it just appears, I go, wait, isn't Black Noir dead? Isn't Black Noir dead? Black Noir's dead, right? What? He could have come back from that. Maybe he did. And then I kind of just was like, oh, that's going to get explained. But I kind of liked that choice. I kind of liked the fact that they kind of just reintroduced him being quiet for a moment. And then it breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. I felt like we'd missed the scene. It jarred with me because I felt like, oh, hang on, have we missed like a whole thing between Homelander and this pretend Black Noir 2, like because the public is supposed to believe that this is Black Noir and then nothing happened to the original, right? So surely I would have thought it would have been nice to have seen that play out. So if that was Homelander deciding that, it would have been nice for Homelander, like. It gives an edge to Homelander's like character of now being able to market the 7. So he's like, look, we can't afford the rating loss by announcing what's happened to Black Noir. So I just think that whole thing would have been like quite an intelligent plot device for Homelander for the audience to go, oh, okay, he's got to the point now where he really knows how to, play the game. But maybe we'll get that. We haven't lost the chance to get that, but it will be a bit late in the game now. Now we know.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have to. I mean, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Oh, nothing else to say there.
That was fantastic. We can. We can.
I was just. Let's go on to episode 2. That was my brain. My brain was going episode 2. I think episode 2 has a little bit more going for it.
Do you? How controversial of you. Talk to me. Tell me what you think.
Oh, tell me what you think about me. Okay, so the title of it is episode 2, Life Among the Septics, Truth Con. So we get a little convention, which is great. If we were to sort of tie it into any other thing, not the type of cons that we'd go to, Forrester, let's be honest. But TruthCon reveals the things that they don't want people to know. The globalists, putting chemicals in food to make people gay. That Dakota Bob is a demon from hell, and the moon isn't real. So that's just that is a literal a title overview of episode 2.
Just whilst we're talking about TruthCon and the types of things they were talking about, I find this really interesting, and I've literally only just thought of this whilst you've been talking, because I've seen a lot online about there's been 2 strands. Right, a lot of people are going, "Oh, the series is woke." Oh, woke. You get the woke army, like, "Oh, The Boys hasn't got as much filth as it used to have." Oh, woke. And then you've got the other side that is like, "Oh, it's mirroring world life events too much." Oh, blah blah blah. Right, and both arguments I find a load of crap. I'll be totally honest. It's definitely not woke for a scene that we're about to talk about. 100%, this is not woke. Also, in regards to mirroring world events, the last 3 series have mirrored world events like in an almost parallel universe, right? That's its whole objective, is to do that. What I think has happened, right, and this this might be controversial to our American listeners, so let me know what your thoughts are. But I wonder if this episode has, because of its parallels with Trump, quite clearly, and Trumpian politics. Now, we know that America are currently looking at the election that is upcoming. We know that there is a large, broad appeal for Trump, whether you like him or not, got voted in the previous time, and there's a high probability that he'll be voted in again. Right, so I wonder whether these 2 views are because the show has actually gone so far that actually it might have irritated its home audience to a high degree. Absolutely. That's my thought.
I think it's funny if they've only just cotton on, going, hang on, they're taking the piss out of us, and it's like, yeah, literally they've been doing that for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
But I mean, so welcome now to the program. But it is one of those things that I think needs to be addressed. The way that rumors are spread, the way that fake news is spread, but the way that kind of God, the word was right there, flipping out. Oh, it was such a good word as well.
No.
It was when people. It's when a group of people just kind of grab into one ideal and just hyperfixate on that thing, and they just use that as motive. That ridiculous kind of behaviour. There is a word for that, dear listener. If you know what the word is, please tell me, because it was right there. It's like a ba. That's what the word is in my head. It's got multiple syllables. It's glorious, but it's gone. But that's not the point. Go on.
But they perfectly, but with Frenchie, they perfectly encapsulate the kind of regular person, because Frenchie is trying to he's telling Kimiko like how ridiculous this truth con is and how ridiculous the views are, and then he goes like, I can't remember what the actual line is, but then he spouts how he thinks it's truthful that we never went to the moon, basically. And Kimiko like looks at him and is like, and it's really that kind of I love that, because it really does show that. And there'll be millions of people out there who go, oh bloody Trump, no way, it's disgusting, the lies, the propaganda, it's disgusting. And then in the same breath they'll go, of course the Earth's not round though, don't be a dick. Like, come on, mate,
But it is. It's amazing. This is what I love about the show, and we spoke about this a few weeks ago, how it does reflect real life. This is, if we take the superheroes away, right, if we're just looking at politics, this is how politics is sold to us now. Through marketing, through social media, through algorithm targeting, through, like, for instance, flipping Donald Trump has just been on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, right? And that is a podcast that is disseminated to a lot of young people, right?
Yeah.
People that are probably new voters as well. That's tactical. That is somebody thinking, I need to grab the attention of impressionable people. That's where I go, that's fucking dangerous. But that's what this show is about. That is what Homelander would do. That's what he had done previously.
I am going to put a quick disclaimer in here, because obviously we're two Brits saying all that. Trust us when we say our own political landscape in Britain is no fucking better right now.
No, we're not. We're not saying
we're going through a general election where there is a certain Nigel Farage that is just, it's fucking bonkers, quite frankly. Not that we're political on this podcast or we have a vision either way. We clearly do. But yeah, there is some bonkers shit on our side of the pond just as much. Yeah, but this show's great.
The show shows what our lives are like through a lens of fiction, and that is what we are getting the most out of in terms of an audience. That's what I'm getting out of. The fact that you see this new character called Firecracker that's just coming in just saying absolute nonsense. He has a social media platform, has a YouTube page, and then we find out later in episode 3 the reason why the way she is because when she was doing beauty pageants with Starlight was a bitch to her, which gave her motive to be this. And but that's it. When people are like that for a reason.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good choice for Firecracker. Firecracker. Superhero name. Yeah.
It is. Also in this episode, we get Kimiko and Frenchie stumbled across a man doing a human centipede on himself. He's fully naked. He's licking his ass, and the guy licking his ass is licking his ass, and the guy licking his ass is licking his ass, and it's all the same guy just licking his ass. He's got sweat down his face. He's got anus dribbled down his mouth. It's mental.
Oh my God, you went straight in. I was not ready.
And if you tell me this series has gone woke, fuck off.
Mate, that moment was absolutely redonkulous. I was not expecting it.
I mean, when they went for the level of detail, when he turns around and he's got shit around, like, he didn't have actual shit, but just stuff around his mouth, actually made me a little bit sick, to be fair, mate. That actually made me a little bit sick. I was like, there was no need.
There was no need, but there was that level of detail and quite clearly level of care that it was taken into that moment. But also when they did the shot, it wasn't even just like a couple of them. It was like a whole row of 8. But it literally looked like it was a snake because the guy at the bottom was on his back. I was like, they've literally choreographed this. Somebody had that job. Somebody had to think of that, pitch it, shoot it, direct that.
And I want that person on our podcast. If you're listening and you had to put that scene together, give us a shout out.
Who put
mental
on Is it Doppelganger? Who put that lovely little shine around his mouth? We want to know who that person is.
Absolutely outrageous. Yeah, it is Doppelganger. And so that actor, I've got a potential Easter egg, but I stupidly forgot to verify it. So the actor who plays Doppelganger, so apparently if you, on Amazon Prime, you can X-ray an episode. Have you heard about this?
I have, yeah.
So you can X-ray an episode, and then during the episode you'll have it will tell you the cast members that are in that episode, give you a little tidbit, occasional stuff. Do you know what happens apparently during that scene?
No, go on, tell me.
So during that scene, I really should have put it on my phone. It says about the actor. I forget the actor's name. This is a terrible segment because I've forgotten all of it. But it says along the lines of the actor would really like us to inform you that he was taught Shakespeare at college. There's no and it says there's no reason for this. There's no. We don't have to post this comment, but we've decided to out of kindness.
That is so funny.
Absolutely ridiculous. I really hope it's true. It's something I saw on Twitter, and I'm assuming it was a screen grab, so it's got to be. I think it is true.
So good.
But yeah, I'm going to try and look it up. If you want to talk about anything remotely near what we're talking about, I'll try and find it.
But if we're sticking to that moment, I mean, it's Frenchie's and Kimiko's reaction as well that joins all of us in that same reaction. Literally opening the door and you're like, wait, what? Why is that happening now? We worked up to Herogasm in Series 3. We knew it was coming. It was a big thing in the comics. It was very much pitched, planned, and implemented through a climactic, pun intended, moment for this narrative. But this bit comes out of nowhere. You know that he has an infatuation with Firecracker, but you just don't know that we see that level of obscenity. And I mean, but it is. Now the pictures in my head, I can't get it out, and it's actually making me feel a bit sick.
So, just to say, Rob Benedict's, so it is Prime Video X-ray. During a scene it says, actor Rob Benedict wants us to remind everyone that he studied Shakespeare at Northwestern University. There is no contractual obligation for us to carry out this request. This is merely a kind gesture.
Oh wow!
And that shows up on screen during him licking his own arsehole. There you go. That is some outrageous,
absolute career highlight. That must have been.
I mean, yeah, Jesus.
Wow.
Alex Foreman, if you're listening, do you fancy that scene? Maybe. Alex, you up for that? We'll bring you back on.
The levels people will go to, huh? No, it was what it was. I don't think that's going to be the end of it, though, mate.
Would you?
I think that was a taster of what's to come.
Would you sign up if that was your first TV credit and that was the only scene you had in the whole series? Would you do it?
That's a good question. I'd probably say no, but equally, it is a good series, and you'd want to be on it.
Yeah,
you'd get remembered for it, but what does that do for your future work? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. That is a difficult question. And I'm not saying to what's his name, Rob. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have done it. He should have done it. Props to him. He committed to it. If anything, he lent into that.
Committed to it. He did. He did put a lot of commitment into
that. I'd be intrigued about how long did that take to shoot? What was the situation with the body doubles? Were there body doubles, or was that just kind of superimposed in? There's
a lot of questions.
Those are the questions I'd ask.
Well, I might reach out to Rob and try and get him on the podcast. Let's see if we can.
Cool.
See if we can get some answers to some of these questions. But yeah, I think if the program offered me the finances that I never needed to act again, then I would do it. So if I knew that, if I thought, I might never have a job after this, but I'm getting enough money to not worry about it, then I'd go in, all hands, all mouths, all legs deep. But if not, I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. Anyway, do you think we've done episode 2?
Well, there's still more to talk about in episode 2. We do get the superhero kind of first save that Ryan is meant to have. Now, thoughts on Ryan so far in the series? He's playing quite a big role.
He absolutely is. Do you know what? I'm quite a fan. I quite like how dark they've gone with the little actor, little guy, and they're quite a brave thing to do. That he kills this guy. Like shooting,
it's not intentional, is it? But he yeets him. He just goes yeet, and he just flats like a pancake.
And I laughed out loud when they pan into the Deep and A-Train's reaction.
So good.
It was so close. You see this splatter, and then it cuts to the Deep and A-Train. They're like,
I thought we weren't kidding any people. So good.
It was really good, and yeah, it was great. I thought I thought they didn't quite. Homelander was interesting because I thought it was quite a subdued reaction for Homelander in that scene. Because I think even though the shock of it and what he's done, he was so, again, like using what we've seen in earlier seasons, right? The minute Ryan displayed any sense of being like Homelander, Homelander went fucking crazy for it, was well excited about it. Now, that scene, when he sees his son having the strength that he had to kill this dude, I would have thought Homelander would be ecstatic about it. He'd have been going like, oh, this is great, Ryan. We're the strongest men. This is what happened. But it was quite a subdued reaction.
It was weird because it also wasn't the other reaction I was kind of hoping to get was him kind of looking at him going, Jesus, you're stronger than me. You were stronger than I wasn't this strong at your age. Like there's no sense of concern. They are obviously, we've got this kind of perspective of the fact that he's this chosen one. We've got they're trying to sell him as that, effectively superhero Jesus, effectively, and it's just not. It's not reading from Homelander's perspective currently yet, maybe, that actually he could be stronger than you, and he could overpower you, and he could quite easily get you out of the picture. And that's not there yet. It's all very kind of, again, just full-blown narcissism from the old Homelander. He's currently just worried about turning grey and trying to get his numbers up. That's literally his focus right now. Obviously, aside from winning the love of his son, but we've got something there with it to play. But Ryan. I don't know. I can see him maybe later in this series, mate. I think he's gonna have a little jab at his dad. Might turn a little left hook. Might, give a little laser eye. Dad, I'm angry. Lasers in the face. Lasers meet lasers.
Quite happy to let that play out, really. I was sorry, I was just talking about you. But that was great. That was really informative. I agree. We have seen him get the lasers up against his dad. We have seen him in a previous series. He had his little laser eyes.
Oh yeah, he did. He did actually. Yeah,
he got a bit angry, didn't he? But yeah, I agree. Maybe someone's cooking up.
Cooking. Frenchie is in a relationship. Well, complicated relationship, which I think is a really lovely move, and it shows. This is the other thing. I think we were talking about this with the kiss that they had with he had with Kimiko in the last series, where it was like looking into this kind of relationship arc. Now, what I'm loving here is that obviously we're not going down the route with Kimiko, which works because you've got more to play with there in terms of their relationship with each other and how Kimiko plays into that. And we saw that in episode 2 at the con as well. She was like getting drunk and she was like, look, I know you love this guy. Let me help you. Let me be your wingman effectively. And, you know, and this shows a sensitive side of Frenchie that was always been there. But there's complications over the fact that he killed this guy's parents, family, actually. It's interesting, but my confusion is that why the hell is this happening now? Why is this part of the story happening now? Why are we learning about this now? Why wasn't this told to us earlier? Because this is coming out of left field. Because it feels like it's just serving the relationship arc that is currently going on, when this actually probably could have been something that could have got played into beginning of series 1, 2, whatever it might have been, where he's still he's doing a Bucky. You know, when Bucky in Falcon Winter Soldier, Bucky goes around going, look, I've killed so many people, I've got to right all these wrongs, blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should have seen that a little bit more in blatant terms in the 3rd season to then play into this.
Yeah, maybe
you know what I mean?
maybe so. Or on the flip side of this, maybe there is a reason what we're finding out now. And is it the man? We don't know much about the bloke that he's like loving on, do we?
Yeah.
Is it that we're going down a bit of She-Hulk territory? So is he going to turn out to be a potential villain? Potential enemy and turn green. Don't know. I don't know. Because I agree, basically. I'm getting at, like, I agree. I think this is an odd time to introduce this element when everything else is going on and we know that we haven't got much time left with these characters. So I would hope that there is a real distinct reason as to why we're seeing this.
I think he's going to die. I think Frenchie or Frenchie's boyfriend will die.
But if he is, fine. But he could have been one of the ones to have died much earlier on in the seasons. Like, I feel like they've kind of missed the boat for someone who's quite like not even a secondary. I'd say like a 3rd character to die at this point is like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, needed to have died much earlier on when Frenchie was really like at the height of his character.
True that. Shall we move ourselves on to episode 3?
I would agree, Matthew. Could we please move ourselves on to episode 3?
We absolutely can. So we are now at a place where Homelander has recouped the 7. We've got Firecracker in the 7, who's just being kind of thrusted into, and also we have what was the other character?
Storm, Firecracker, Firecracker.
The one that's really smart. The character that's really smart.
Splinter.
Sage? No.
Sage. No? Splinter. Sage, you're right. Sage and Firecracker are presented as new members of the 7. Butcher tasks a friend, Joe Kessler. Yes! Sorry, carry on. You talk about Sage.
No, you've got to go now because you've got me all excited.
Well, we meet our good old friend Negan.
We do. Doesn't he turn up a little bit earlier as well? I swear he turns up in episode 1.
I think he doesn't.
Does he? But Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the man, the legend.
Ooh, the god. He rocks up in all his hunkiness. I was well excited. I fangirled. I went hard at his entrance. So excited. Real excited.
Still not really sure the purpose. I mean, so he's part of... Is he part of Mallory's group, or is he part of something that's different? Another offshoot, like private investigator.
he's part of Mallory's group, isn't he? But I think he's not happy with how Mallory's she's not going far enough, right? He wants to go further, harder, faster, stronger, better. He's basically Daft Punk.
Oh, I tell you what, actually, speaking of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, we when we have the episode in where Sister Sage brings those fanatic Homelander fans into, which is one of MM's daughter's new dad, is it part of that? And Homelander says, with 3 baseball bats, kill these people. Not 20 minutes earlier, we had an introduction to Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Do you see what I mean? There's a little...
I'm seeing the little Easter egg there.
There's a little, Lucille Easter egg, I think, in there. Little homage.
Yeah. Little homage. Big fan of an homage.
I mean, yeah. It's good to have him in the show. I mean, I want to see more of him. I'm pretty confident we will see more flesh out. I just wonder what it'll be.
So here's a part of his inclusion in this series is that he basically sets out to he wants to nick Ryan, doesn't he? He wants to take Ryan and part of that process is for Huey to poison Ryan, which Billy to poison Ryan, which Billy backs out of. However, did you know? Do you think and did you know that was happening before he then chucks the cookies away? Because I don't know if I missed a little glimpse of the scene, but we see Billy baking these cookies and a whole thing about the cookies, but I can't remember ever seeing, there was nothing before he chucks them away and then we hear, Jeffrey specifically talk about it. We didn't know, did we? Until the end of that scene.
No, do you mean he was Jeffrey, not the character's name, but gave him some drugs effectively to.
Yeah, did we see that happen before the scene with Ryan played out?
So we did see
maybe I missed it.
Mix it in with the batter. He made the cake.
I think I must have missed it because
change your heart.
He just kept looking at these cookies. I was like, "What the fuck is going on with the cookies?" And I must have just missed, just casually missed the actual content. And then he was chucking them away. I was like, "What is going on with the cookies?" And then in the following scene, it's like, "What is going on? Why does he care so much?"
But yeah, we've got Jeffrey in the boys. That's exciting. Can't wait to see what happens next. With the rest of the episode, we do have the Vought, the 7 on Ice, effectively. Which is a very much
God.
A whole Disney on Ice thing in it. Oh my God!
She get decapitated. No, she doesn't get decapitated. She just gets lasered in half, doesn't she? The lead.
Yeah.
Honest to God, that that is fucking insane. I was like, oh my God. And then all of these people on ice are just screaming, running around. Someone slides over her arm with these rollerblades, not rollerblades, ice skates.
All of my worst nightmares of ice skating happen in that sequence.
That was horrendous. It was so entertaining to watch, but oh my God, it was rough. I
wonder if that's actually happened to people out there. It must have. Getting their hands kind of chopped off.
I could never do ice skating, man. I could never do ice skating. It's just lethal. It's absolutely lethal.
What I love in that moment though is that Homelander clearly, doesn't on purpose laser that lead girl, but it happens. But then that just follows a chain reaction of other fatalities. You get one that gets literally garroted with the blade when they're trying to fly over. That gets literally, the throat gets completely slit open. guts come out at one point as well. Like, it's just horrendous. Horrendous. What a moment, though.
And in the scene directly after that, you see like the media. It shows like a TV screen, and they're just going. There was like a malfunction at the ice skating rink. It's like, no. There was absolute murder and a fucking carnage.
There was some fatalities.
It was just a minor inconvenience at the local skate park. Nothing to see here. Yeah. 7 people did die. Yes, but it was just a minor. Could have happened to anyone, anywhere. Genius.
It's so good. But like, I mean, it's good. It's good because it was a high octane moment where it was started the scene with just Victoria Newman and Homelander meeting in the back areas of this building, this theatre, and Huey's there listening in. It's like, oh my god, this covert stuff. Come on, just get to the blood and guts, and then boom, we got it. But not how I was thinking it was going to happen. With MM, mate. MM.
Working.
His appearance, man. He looks great.
I know, mate. And he's working for the feds now, mate. He's top dollar. Him and Mallory taking over the world.
That man has been putting in the work. Like you can definitely see there were people on social media that thought that MM was recast for a moment
because he's been.
I was like, really?
Absolutely jacked up.
He's jacked up. He went to the gym. That man has been working hard. He looks great. I think there's this power struggle currently with Butcher and MM. Butcher's obviously on this ticking time bomb. He hasn't got much to live. He's also seeing things. We saw Better came back at one point, didn't she? Better's back. Oh, Becca's back.
Oh, Christ. He's in Grange Hill.
Better.
Grange Hill? Is that the reference I meant? That's not. Biker Grove is the reference I meant. Grange Hill.
No one is going to get either of those references anyway.
Biker Grove. Anyway, carry on. I'll tell you what, my cousin Pete will. Big shout out to my cousin Pete. You'll get a reference. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, Becca comes back though. We've got Butcher. Fucking hell. We've got Butcher that's under this kind of time restraint. I'm carrying on. Thank you.
But do you know who isn't? Because she's dead. Becca. Sorry, I will behave.
But all I'm saying is that MM here is currently, because of his ex's ex-boyfriend now, who is now dead. There's not much for MM to play with, other than the fact that he's trying to be the leader of the boys. Is there anything else, do you think, that needs to happen for MM? I've got a theory.
Tell us your theory, mate.
I think MM's going to take out Soldier Boy. I think we will see. I think we'll see it.
Nah, do you not think the Soldier Boy's arc is done, mate?
Well, then why spend a whole season? Not even a whole season. Why? He was only in like 3 episodes. This can't be the end of Soldier Boy. Really? Do you think so?
Can't hope it is, mate. After our last episode,
wow.
I don't know. It's bigger fish to fry, mate. We've got to get to. We're about to find out Homelander's like what's going on with Homelander. That's the shit. That's the stuff we need to get. Find out. That's what we want. That's what we need in life, mate. And I think Soldier Boy might come back, but I think it might be. I think he might come back in Gen V sequel.
Right, okay.
Because I think it might be around the poison and all that jazz.
Oh.
We might get him in because he might be, I believe, an immune soup. So they might bring him back in that way. But anyway, that's a conversation for Gen V, perhaps. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because, like you say, he was in 3 episodes, massive character. But I would be surprised because I think there's a lot more other things to. They can't achieve everything in 2 seasons, so they've really got to concentrate on what stories they want to tell. So if they're gonna bring him back, it's got to be for a story. But his arc, as far as I'm concerned, anyone around in his time is all gone now. We've even got rid of Black Noir. So what's his reason? Like, what's the belief?
Yeah, it's just kind of making up the numbers of the 7, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
But you can say the same thing. Like the Deep, nothing really other than kind of being there for comedic effect is going on for the Deep. We can see a whistleblower happening for A-Train, so there's a little bit of character arc and narrative there going, and all the stuff with his brother as well, that's kind of playing out. Starlight, I mean, for goodness sake, like she, at the end of season 3 goes, I'm no longer Starlight. By the time of the 3rd episode of season 4, I am Starlight again. Like, you're like, really?
Yeah.
Give up only to take it back again. I'm like, okay, fine. All right, so we went for that. We knew that wasn't going to last.
No.
Yeah, so there are certain, like, I don't know, surplus to requirements, let's say, for certain characters, which is, again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the podcast, this is why it's a good idea to finish it at the end of season 5, because you can't keep going with that.
You can't keep churning it out.
But as going on to your comment, though, mate, I think it's about time we should get some deaths.
Give me some death. Give me some
deaths from main characters.
Toil and trouble, mate. Give me some cutting of people. I don't think, we haven't talked about Billy Butcher's got 6 months to live, apparently. So that I think that's also another issue, is that we're going from like no one dies for any reason, like of any value, no one dies, to suddenly there could be a reason for all of the main characters to die. So Billy, 6 months to live. Homelander, what we haven't talked about, is going slightly mental now. He's having breakdowns. Like, got another name that we've come across. He's got a whole backstory potentially we're about to go down. So could be multiple reasons why he dies. Ryan's being careless, which means that they could. I'm just like, oh God. Okay, just kill off 1 or 2 in a battle, and then give us another, give us the direction. What I want from the rest of the series is a bit of direction in a way that we had with series 1. We had a clear overall plot. Billy wants to avenge Becca. And that's that, right? So what we need is a death in the next episode, which then paves the way for a clear plot where you've got A against B and who's going to win. That's what I want.
Yeah. I think that's quite a nice way to wrap up the first 3 episodes of season 4 of The Boys. We do have episode 4 that will be dropping on the 20th of June, so it's only a few days away, which is called The Wisdom of the Ages. The episode, I can tell you episode 5 as well. Episode 5 is called Beware of the Jabberwock, My Son, which is a reference to
the Jabberwock,
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, thank you. Episode 6, Dirty Business. Episode 7, The Insider. Which I believe The Insider is going to be a full-length episode on Doppelganger's tonguing himself. So that'll be fun. It's from the POV of his arsehole, apparently, the whole episode.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's quite innovative, isn't it?
Yeah. So, really excited for that. And
just in a one shot. Just a one shot.
It's basically like a mockumentary style episode of Doppelganger's arsehole. It's just all of the events that he's up to. 55 minutes, apparently, that episode. And then we finish with the last episode, Assassination Run. And is that right, or director?
None of those titles give away anything.
They don't. They're so ambiguous. The last episode is directed by Eric Kripke, who directed and is the creator of Supernatural.
There's a lot of supernatural crossovers here, my
And
friend.
obviously did The Boys, obviously. So yeah, it's going to be directed by the big one, Mr. Eric. So last episode should be a big one.
All right. Well, current thing is that I'm really enjoying it. It's still really good. It's still compelling enough to watch it. The 3 episodes went really quickly for me. I did go straight into it. I had to stop and pace myself. But like, I think just needs a little bit more focus, a little bit more stakes. But I trust the formula. I trust that it will come.
It will come.
So all good. All good so far.
And we'll see you next Wednesday when we talk about episode 4. But we're just about to have a chat about Gen V, which will be out in 2 days' time on Friday, with a bonus episode with a very, very excitable theme tune.
Oh,
because we're using the Don't Be a Hero AI tune.
That is the whole reason you're going to come back, just so you can rock out with that song.
And, you know, in the style of the boys, rock out with your cock out.
I was waiting for you to do it.
No.
I knew that was happening.
Or your vagina out, or whatever you have down there, because we welcome everybody here at Don't Be a Hero podcast. And as Matt thinks and dreams about that, we will see you next time on Don't Be a Hero podcast. Ciao for now.
Latest potatoes.